Dwan Montrel Hart, better known by his stage name Young Dro, is an American hip-hop recording artist from Bankhead, Atlanta, Georgia. Dro's major label debut Thang Smokin was released in August 2006, under Grand Hustle and Atlantic. The album was preceded by his debut single Shoulder Lean, which served as the album's lead single and proved to be a hit in the urban community and Billboard charts. He released his second studio album High Times, 7 years later, after an abundance of mixtapes, on October 15, 2013 under Grand Hustle, eOne Music and Atlantic. It spawned the single FDB, his highest charting single since Shoulder Lean. Biography, 1979 2006, Early Life and Best Thang Smokin. On January 15, 1979, Young Dro was born Dwan Hart in Bankhead, a neighborhood on Atlanta's west side. His inspiration for wanting to rap came from the success of one of his best friends, Chris Daddy Max Smith, one half of Criss Cross. Musically speaking, however, Goodie Mob, also West Atlanta natives, had the biggest impact on him. Hart embarked on his professional career around 1999 when he signed to bass music rapper Raheem the Dream's local Atlanta label, Tight for Life Records, under just the moniker Dro. He released the regional hit Yes Sir, and an album titled I Got That Dro, around the same time T.I. released his debut, I'm Serious. Although Hart had known T.I. since the early 90s, they grew apart for some time. By early 2006, Young Dro was signed to T.I.'s imprint, Grand Hustle Records. Young Dro released his commercial debut single Shoulder Lean in summer 2006. The song had heavy rotation on BET and MTV2, and its cellular phone ringtones sold over 500,000 units. The hit single was featured on his major label debut Thang Smokin, released on August 29, 2006. The album debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200. 2007 A Present, Mixtapes and High Times. In 2008, Hart was included in XXL's first annual Top 10 Freshman list, featured on their cover alongside fellow American rappers Lupe Fiasco, Lil Boozy, Joel Ortiz, Plies, Saigon, Rich Boy, Gorilla Zoe, Papoose and Crooked I. On March 17, 2009, Hart released a single titled Take Off, featuring his protege Young L.A. The song was originally released as the first single from his then-titled second studio album POLO on February 23, 2011. He released a mixtape titled Equestrian Dro. On March 17, 2011, he released a mixtape titled I Co-Sign Myself. On July 8, 2011, he released a mixtape titled Tricabulary. On January 16, 2012, he released a mixtape titled We Out Kia. On July 24, 2012, he released a mixtape titled R.I.P. 2. On September 26, 2012, he released a mixtape titled Ralph Lauren Refar. On March 28, 2013, the first single from his second studio album FDB was released. On June 17, 2013, Young Dro released the mixtape Day 2, in promotion for his second studio album. On July 10, 2013, Young Dro announced he would be releasing his second studio album, titled High Times, in October 2013. On September 18, 2013, the album cover was released and it was announced that the album would be released on October 15, 2013. On September 30, 2013, the track listing was unveiled, revealing guest appearances on the album from Forgy Uto, Mac Boney, T.I., Spade, Problem, Natasha Mosley, Blue June, Dobie and Milo Smith. On September 30, 2013, the second single from High Times, titled Strong, was released. Discography, studio albums, independent albums, compilation albums, mixtapes, singles, as lead artist, as featured artist, other charted songs, guest appearances, awards and nominations, references. External links, official website, Young Dro at AllMusic, Young Dro on MySpace, Young Dro on Twitter.